Hey Bat fans, Luke here, back with you ready to do another Bat Chat, and today we're going to discuss DC Nation number 0, which came out today for a whopping price of 25 cents. Actually, the Star one today got for free, so some stores are giving for free, some charging 25 cents. Initially, I was going to wait until my books came for the week to actually get this and read it. Obviously, I ordered it through DCBS, but I had to make a trip down to the local comic shop to pick up this book. I jumped on Spawn, and the way you work, you order books at DCBS, you order like 2 months in advance. So I'm like 2 months behind on Spawn, and so until my books come up, I think next month I'll actually have it, so I don't need to go chase them down. But until then, I have to go to the local comic shop and pick them up. And this one in particular, I was really kind of hoping I'll be able to get the Virgin variant cover for this particular issue because I'll show it here because it's freaking awesome. Francisco Mattina is kind of like one of my favorite artists right now, and he did this. Obviously, this is the Virgin variant for this issue of Spawn, and it is just freaking great. And of course, you got the normal covers. But this is like the one rare occasion I won't go for the strictly the original cover. I did go for this variant. Anyway, so since I was in the neighborhood, I figured, why not? See if I get my hands on DC Nation. And I did, obviously. And, of course, the shop gave it for free. So, DC Nation, there's 3 parts in this issue. There's the Batman story, kind of sort of in a way, maybe. We'll see how it pans out. A prelude to kind of like the lead up to the wedding between Batman and Catwoman. Then you have a Superman story done by Brian Michael Bendis, kind of lead up to the Man of Steel event that's starting up at the end of the month in May. And there's also a story dealing with Justice League. Served as sort of like a prelude to the No Justice event, which actually I think starts next week. So in this video, I'm only really going to talk about the Batman issue, Batman's story, and maybe at the tail end, just kind of hits some high notes about what I thought about the other 2 short stories in this. So this story, it is a Joker story, and the writer, obviously, is Tom King, and we have art, of course, that has got the shadow, art by Clay Mann. And Clay Mann, if you haven't been familiar with him, you should, if you've been reading Batman. He was in the Super Friends issue with Batman and Superman as they went through, through the amusement park. They switched costumes and whatnot. And did that 2-part story. Additionally, before then, dealing with the wedding, the proposal issue, him and David Finch kind of split the issue up a little bit. And the portion of the issue that was drawn between Batman and Gotham Girl, that was Clay Mann. And before that, recently, might be kind of picking an old fresh wound here, the Poison Ivy, Cycle of Life and Death, he did some art in there as well, which we'll just leave that one alone. Clay Mann's art in this, I thought was great. He has good character models, in the way he kind of shows expressions is really great, but it's also done, and it's not polished, and I don't want to say that in a bad way. It's really gritty, and you kind of really see this in the first page. It's a splash page with a dialogue with Joker, and he's kind of putting his head and his gun through this mail drop part of someone's apartment. And basically this issue, you're going to read this, and I harken back to the New 52 annual, let me think, it wasn't number 1, that was the Mr. Freeze annual number 2. Was it number 2? Might have been number 2. No, that was the Arkham Asylum issue, Becky Cloonan. So annual number 3. Yes, annual number 3 it dealt with during the Endgame story. And it was probably one of the better annuals I thought there was in DC during the New 52. And it really dealt with this story of really just driving the Joker, driving this one reporter just absolutely mad, and you really see the slow demise mentally of this individual as he's kind of dealing with, the facade of the Joker. And it was really well done, and I was reading this, and the Batman story, count it, 1, 2, 3, 4, so 8 pages, I believe, is it. And it's really this story between Joker, and he's broken into this house with a random person, as we know right now, random. I'll get to why in a minute. And he's waiting for an invitation for Batman's wedding. And it really is this slow mental demise of this poor guy all by his lonesome, as he's kind of held sort of hostage by the Joker. And what the deal is, as you're reading initially, is that, if he gets the invitation from Batman in the mail, this guy might be alright. But as you see, it kind of doesn't work out that way. Again, this is just the way the Joker can just mentally just break you down with how mentally disturbing he is. And it's just great how it's done. The dialogue between the Joker and this poor guy, it was awesome. It's classic Joker. It's a dark Joker, and it's a conniving, just mentally twisted Joker, but not to the far extreme. This is kind of what I liked about Snyder's run during New 52. He did kind of bring Joker into his really dark place, which I liked. And I like what Tom King is doing, he's kind of bringing it back a little bit. We kind of seen him really come back, and it's kind of not really fair, but during the War of Jokes and Riddles, you kind of see a different type of Joker. And this is what we can consider, obviously, current day Joker. And he's dark and demented, don't get me wrong, but it's reined in a little bit. He's taken the Snyder Joker, and let's bring him back a little bit to center what we kind of know of the Joker, but still getting all the character traits down pat. And some of the things he says in here is just great. There was some little jokes that the Joker does in this, which in hindsight, it kind of, I chuckled a little bit. One of the jokes he said in her eye was great. He's like, what's brown and sticky? And the guy's like, what? And he's like, it's a brown stick. And then, what was the, then he had said one thing. It was like, hey, did you hear about the letter that didn't have a stamp? And the guy's like, no, what are you talking about? And the Joker's like, nah, you wouldn't get it. And initially you're kind of like, what? And then Clayman does this great panel here. It is just awesome. It's like when you see that, Joker's kind of like laughing a little bit. Then it dawned on you. It's like, oh yeah, if an envelope wouldn't have a stamp on it, you wouldn't get it because it wouldn't get sent. I chuckled a little bit. But again, you see the slow demise of just how this poor guy gets broken down as, the tension's waiting for his mail to arrive, which he knows he's not getting an invitation at the Batman's wedding. He even says in here, I doubt he's even getting married. And if he is, why would it come here, And he gets this mail, and then Joker's reading it, and he gets to this one part, and he was like, I don't know. And then the poor guy's like, well, what are you talking about? And the Joker's like, yeah, I finally got my invitation, and it's great. And then earlier in the issue, he basically kind of like, again, he's playing with this guy. He's just toying him. He's like, hey, as long as I don't get upset, I don't kill when I'm upset. I don't kill unless I'm upset. And then he gets the mail and whatnot, and then he ends up shooting him anyway and killing him in this panel here. Man, that shadow's horrible. And he was like, I'm so happy, and I kill when I'm happy. And it's so dark. But then you realize the letter that he actually got was a letter from the guy's daughter's school, talking about the daughter being late, coming all the time, and then he's gonna have to go in for a meeting with the principal, I guess, and he's referencing the guy's referencing his daughter a couple of times prior to the end of this short little story, and it's so twisted. And you can't really tell. I mean, I would think that Joker in his mind thought it was in the invitation to the wedding, and whatnot, but it was just, I don't know. I mean, you can't really read too much into that, but it's just, it ended up again. It's just the letter after the guy gets shot. Man, that shadow is horrible, but you see kind of like the blood on the page, whatnot. And it's, again, it's classic Joker, and it's just, I loved it. It's a simple story with, again, how the Joker could just really just break a person down, and it's done just really well. I enjoyed the heck out of this. It said it's going to be continued in Batman 48, so I think we're going into issue number 46 now, I believe. Tony S. Daniel. So I think we got a couple issues. So I think Clayman is going to do a short little arc before the wedding issue, and issue number 50. But this is just great. I enjoyed the heck out of it. This is really going to just set the stage how the story's going to go. I'm pumped. I loved it. I'm giving this a 4 out of 5. The only thing that's kind of holding back for maybe a 4.5, maybe. It's a nitpick. There was some dialogue in here, and I just didn't get it. He's like, and I think I might get these mentions thing, but I never learned the alphabet. And in hindsight, I kind of might be getting what he was trying to say about it, but I don't know. I was kind of scratching my head a little bit about it. But this was a great Joker story, a simple 8-page Joker story of a slow destruction of a man with a short encounter with the Joker. Great stuff. 4 out of 5. This is for free, folks, so pick it up. On to some other thoughts. Again, real quickly, the Superman story with done by Bendis. I'll kind of leave it at that. I was kind of disappointed in the art, to be perfectly honest. But by Jose Luis Garcia Lopez, it was okay. But again, this kind of just sets the stage for the Man of Steel story, and it's kind of, you find out Lois Lane is not really there. Something happened, and that's kind of one of the plots of the story. They're going to see that John and Lois Lane, or John and Lois, anyway, are kind of MIA, and it kind of deals with these new reporters coming into the planet and might have an ulterior motive. And okay, I'm getting the Man of Steel series, and obviously I'm sticking with Superman and action. I am going to give it a try, but it is on a really short leash. We'll kind of see how it goes. So I'm not even really going to give it a score. It was meh. It was alright. And Snyder story here with this, dealing with kind of this No Justice prelude issue. It's actually more than just Snyder. I think Williamson and Tynan kind of dealt with this story, and it really did just kind of, I kind of put this as kind of, consider this really like an appetizer going into this No Justice event, when it really does just kind of introduce the teams that are going to be there, you know, with Team Entropy, then we have Team Mystery, Team Entropy headed by Batman, then we have Mystery headed by Superman, and then we have the third team, which is Team Wonder, which is headed by Wonder Woman. Then we have Team Wisdom, which is headed by the Flash. That's right, the Flash. And it's just kind of them, again, just kind of battling this upcoming force that's going into the Earth. It kind of delves in more to the ending of what happened at the end of DC Metal. This was just like a little appetizer. This one really does just set the table. And for the No Justice event, I'm okay with this. But we'll just kind of see how it goes post that, how the Justice League titles are all going to be kind of hashed out. We'll see. I'm not sure how it's going to go. But this piqued my interest for a 4-issue little event. I'm okay. We'll see how it kind of goes. It's got pretty much everyone you kind of want amongst these teams. So it was okay. I'll leave that cliffhanger right there. But yeah. Again, if you're just kind of looking at DC Nation Zero, if you remember back in Convergence, they did that little issue, Divergence, during Free Comic Book Day. Same concept. So you're nuts if you're not going to pick it up for free. And then for 25 cents, yeah. From what I gather, these won't be reprinted. So if you want to get these, you got to kind of get the DC Nation issue. I know on the DC app, this is for free anyway. So I'd recommend definitely get that Batman story. If it's not going to be reprinted anywhere, which kind of curious. I'm sure it'll be in the trade. But if this is it for floppy, heck yeah. This is that Batman story alone. It was good. Very good. Highly recommend. I feel like an idiot saying highly recommend the pickup, especially if it's free. There's really nothing you can lose. And for 25 cents they're charging, yeah. 8-page Joker story, great, awesome. Had a great time reading this. So anyway, next video will probably be Batman, the next installment, which I did see the variant. Oh, the variant cover for this issue Batman is, I could tell you right now, I normally try to start off my videos with the variant if I have it at the time, and I'll kind of compare it with the main cover and say which one's better. I can tell you right now, the variant cover, just freaking awesome. And Tony S. Daniels' main cover is nothing to sneeze at either. So once that book gets in, don't know when it's going to get to my house, and I'll be able to read. I am avoiding spoilers like crazy on that thing. So whenever that gets here, take a look at it. So hit me up in the comments below what you thought of that Joker story in DC Nation, and we'll bat chat and go from there. So until next video, take care.